And welcome back to Retirement Coffee Talk with Sharice Rivers at Zinnia Wealth. Online, find us at zinniawealth.com, ZINNIA wealth.com. So, Sharice, you talked about income sources and building income in retirement and how important that is. And we've talked over the last year and a half or two now of how with the interest rates going up, this has brought in a whole new place to explore. Because 5 years ago when you and I were doing the show, we didn't talk about CDs and T-bills and I-bonds and structured notes and things like that because the interest rates were so low. Now they're much better. But I want to ask you about this. I know that people are using these things now, but all of these things come with terms, meaning some of them expire in 3 months or 6 months, or you buy them for a year or 5 years. And that means I got to make more decisions with my financial life, and I don't know if I like that. So do you find that people are uncomfortable with that, or are they more engaged? How does this change the dynamic of what you do?
Well, it's interesting. There's a two-part answer here because people are very confused, number one. And number two, they're also enlightened. They're interested and they're seeking change. And number three is what I'm seeing is more engagement. So let me focus on number one.
Okay.
So why are people confused? When they come in and see us and they've come from another advisory firm, they say, Sharice, you're recommending CDs and T-bills and these notes and some of these short-term annuities. And why isn't my advisor doing any of those things? And they're very confused. And I said, well, I always try to be kind and nice, right? I said, we all have our own philosophy. And there's sometimes a lot of red tape that these advisors have to go through depending on where they're hanging their license and who the big name is on the building, right? Whether it's a big bank name or a big brokerage firm name. And at the end of the day, those big banks and brokerages can't make any money off those things. So therefore, they don't want advisors to push those things. So that advisor has to manually do it and overwrite it to put in a client portfolio. So that's why when most people come in and we see them, that stuff isn't in there because the brokerage firm is out to make money too, and a whole lot more money, right? Because they got overhead, they got advisors, and they got to pay themselves. So it is what it is. It's a financial services world and what we live in, and it's all about money and who's going to make more, and it's always the big banks and brokerage firms.
It reminds me a little bit of Social Security advice because, Sharice, you don't get paid on Social Security advice. Advisors don't, but this is a vital part of a financial and retirement plan is Social Security. So it is in the best interest of the client, and it's in, I mean, you got to do that. But you're not going to get paid on it, but it's an important part of the plan.
Yeah, I couldn't do a plan without strategizing in Social Security, right? It's just, there's so many things we do here at Zinnia Wealth and with all the advisors and our clients because it's just not a cookie cutter, one-stop approach of a 60-40 and we're just going to, all go down together and then we're all going to come up together and we're not going to strategize. That's not what we do here. I'm like over strategic here, by the way. So that's why people are confused. So there's a confusing part. So number two, they're enlightened and they're seeking change. I'm telling you, when people come in and they see us, even my own clients, when they come in for the reviews, it's like, okay, so you've been my client for 10 years and I know we've done this, this, and that, but now we're going to start carving things in like the CDs and the I-bonds and the T-bills, because this is how we're going to make more money, most likely for the next 12 months. And then we can stay out of the longer term bonds and out of some of those equities that, are rippling across the stock market, right? That could waver ups and downs too often. And they're like, okay, so here's another phase of Zinnia Wealth. There's Sharice is implementing a plan again. And so they get excited when they come in because they know I'm up to something, right? And I'm not going to fall asleep and I'm plugging and playing. I mean, I did this during COVID. I did this after COVID. I did it pre-COVID. I did it. You go back 7 and 10 years ago. I'm always trying to make it better, right? Let's lower the fees. Let's try to make more money. And it drives me. And somebody recently said, Sharice, what drives you? And it's the first thing that came to my head. And it's really weird, but I'm going to admit it on radio. I said, I like to win. And they sat back in their seats and they said, we've never had anybody say that before. They're like, you're the advisor, because we want the advisor that wants to win. And I'm not saying win against other advisors or win this. Like, I just want a winning strategy. I want to keep building. I want to keep finding all these things and bobbing and weaving so that we are winning, so that for the client. And when I said that out loud, I went, ooh, was that a good thing to say? And then I went, and the prospect said, yeah, we like that. So people are enlightened because we're always throwing a curveball on what to do, because we don't make any money by putting clients in T-bills and CDs and those types of things. We make nothing. We actually lose out on fees, believe it or not. And people are like, really? I don't tell people that, but it's just kind of what we have all baked into the Zinnia Wealth plan and that investment strategy and an income plan. So that was number 2. People are enlightened. They're excited. They like coming in and being like, this is different. This makes sense. And we keep it so simple. So number 3, it helps our clients stay even more engaged in their plan. So a lot of times, I've been doing this for years, clients get so used to it. They're excited. They start to trust us a lot every year, in and out. And then I don't see them for 2 years. And I'm making phone calls. I'm like, yeah, it's time for a review, and I got to at least have that phone call, but they're just enjoying retirement. But because of the climate and the economy we're in, they're like, okay, so what are we doing next? And let's say you go into a 6-month CD or a 3-month T-bill or a 1-year note or whatever it might be. I'm going to need to have more conversations with the client, because after 90 days or 6 months, it's like, okay, what are we going to do next? Because I can't do anything without the client's permission. So yes, we do have a service giant here at Zinnia Wealth Management, but I am happy about it. And we have people that help me out to make sure everything's done. So that's the important thing. So people are staying really engaged over the last, I would say, 18 months, which I like. I like, FaceTime or that phone time or that Zoom time, just to make sure we are making this plan the best that it can be, right? And a lot of other things come out when we're having these conversations. And it's just good to stay very well oiled in that portfolio and have that communication that you can reach out and talk to somebody, especially if you have concern, or especially if you're seeing us making trades in a portfolio, et cetera, because there's a lot of noise. And some people might say a lot of trades in a portfolio means the advisor makes more commissions. And we are a fiduciary. When we buy and sell, we don't make any commissions on the trades. We're just truly trying to make you as much money as possible, which is key.
Well, one of the things about, visiting with your financial advisor every 3 months, every 6 months, is there's things that change in your life too. And if you weren't in there talking through some of these financial changes, they might not know the changes that are happening in your life. And we may have to make some financial decisions along with those as well. That's what it is to have an engaged financial advisor. And that's why we have this show. Give us a call. Give us a look at our website, zinniawealth.com, ZINNIA wealth.com. Hit that gold box. It says complimentary retirement consultation. That's a free meeting with Charisse. Or you can give us a call. Reach out to us that way, 833-368-3680.
Thanks for listening to the Retirement Coffee Talk podcast. If you have questions or would like to begin the process of building a tailored retirement plan, call Zinnia Wealth at 803-368-3680 or find us online at zinniawealth.com.
Charisse Rivers is an investment advisor representative of Zinnia Wealth Advisory, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Charisse Rivers is licensed in your state, please contact their office. Zinnia Wealth Advisory, LLC is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Any client experiences discussed during this show are unique to that client. They are not meant to imply or suggest you will experience the same results. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Charisse Rivers, NPN Insurance License Number 8718011.